My dear listener, if you are in your 70s or 80s, or even approaching those years, I want you to pause with me for a moment and take a gentle breath. Because what I am about to share with you is not about rushing, not about adding more things to your plate, but rather about releasing, about letting go, about lightening the spirit so that the days you have ahead are not heavy, with burdens of yesterday but free, open and filled with joy. Because the truth is that the happiness we seek at this stage of life is rarely found in holding on, but much more often discovered in the art of letting go. And today, I want to take you by the hand, gently, and walk with you through 10 things that you can begin to release. 10 invisible weights that may have lived with you for far too long. And as you let them go one by one, you will begin to feel the gift of peace, the freedom of laughter, and the quiet joy that belongs to those who have lived, endured, and now wish to simply be, because after all the struggles, the achievements, the mistakes, the victories, and the tears, you deserve to live these years with lightness in your step and warmth in your heart. So let us begin, my friend. And may every word reach you not just as advice, but as comfort, as if whispered from one soul to another. The first weight that often clings to us is regret, that heavy chain of what-ifs and if-onlys, the endless replaying of past decisions, mistakes or opportunities missed. And while regret is a natural part of reflecting on a long life, it becomes a thief of joy when it takes up too much space. For regret belongs to the past, and the past, no matter how many times we revisit it, cannot be rewritten. And yet, how often do we allow our hearts to linger there, punishing ourselves for not being better, wiser, faster, braver? But my friend, you must know this. You did the best you could with what you knew, with what you had in the time you had it. And now the task is not to rewrite yesterday, but to honor it, to bow gently before it, and then release it like a bird into the open sky. Because the days ahead need your presence, not your punishment. And every moment you spend holding regret is a moment stolen from the peace you deserve today. So let us agree together now. Regret has lived with you long enough. Let it rest, let it go, and in its place, let gratitude grow. Gratitude for the lessons, gratitude for the survival, gratitude that you are still here with time yet to live differently if you choose. And once you loosen the grip of regret, another thief of joy will try to sneak in. The tendency to compare yourself with others, perhaps with your siblings, your neighbors, your friends, or even strangers whose lives look shinier from the outside. Because comparison is a silent poison that whispers that you are not enough, that your life is lacking, that you should have more, be more, do more. And yet, my dear friend, comparison is built on an illusion because you see only the surface of another's life. Never the full story, never the hidden struggles, never the private pain. And even if you did, why measure your journey by the steps of another when your path was never meant to be theirs? At 70 or 80, your story is rich with uniqueness. Your moments belong to you alone. And the joy you seek is not in looking outward at someone else's garden, but in watering your own. So release comparison. Let it drift away like smoke in the wind. And embrace instead the truth that your life is enough. Your experiences are worthy, and your presence is irreplaceable. Now, having released regret and comparison, we must turn to the clutter that weighs both our homes and our minds. For how easy it is over the decades to collect, to keep, to hold on to objects, memories, responsibilities, and even thoughts that no longer serve us. And yet, each item and each worry that piles up around us becomes another stone in the backpack we carry, slowing us down, crowding our breath, dimming our peace. But when you begin to let go of clutter, both physical and mental, you will feel space open within you. Space to breathe, space to rest, space to invite joy back in. And letting go of clutter does not mean letting go of love or memory. It simply means choosing what truly matters now. keeping what brings warmth and peace, and releasing what only gathers dust. So donate the clothes you no longer wear. Pass on the books you no longer read. Give away the furniture you no longer use. And as you do, notice how your heart also unclutters, how your thoughts begin to settle, and how simplicity becomes a kind of wealth richer than anything stored in closets or drawers. And when the clutter is gone, you may notice another old companion trying to hold on, grudges, resentments, and unhealed hurts. For perhaps someone wronged you, betrayed you, or failed you in a way that still lingers like a shadow in your chest. And perhaps you think that by holding on to this pain, you are protecting yourself. But the truth is, my dear listener, grudges are like chains around your own ankles. They do not punish the other person. They only imprison you, and the longer you carry them, the heavier they become. So I say this with gentleness. Forgiveness is not about excusing what was done. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying it. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is release. It is the opening of a locked door, and when you step through it, you will feel the lightness of a heart that has chosen peace over poison. So let go of grudges, not for them but for you, because you deserve the freedom that forgiveness brings. And perhaps as you forgive others, you will notice another fear within, the fear of aging itself, the quiet anxiety about wrinkles, gray hair, slower steps, or fading memory. And yet, why fear what is natural? Why fear what every soul before us has faced? Every wrinkle tells a story. Every scar holds a history. Every gray hair is a medal of endurance. So instead of resisting, embrace. Instead of fearing, celebrate. Because aging is not a curse, but a privilege denied to many. And when you let go of the fear of aging, you step into the beauty of presence, savoring the simple joys of each day. The taste of warm tea, the laughter of a friend, the golden glow of a sunrise. And you realize that life has not left you behind. It is still inviting you every morning to live. And yet, even in embracing age, we sometimes carry the habit of overthinking, of worrying endlessly about what might happen, what could go wrong, what the future might hold. But overthinking is like running on a treadmill. Your mind moves furiously, but you arrive nowhere. And in the process, you exhaust your spirit. So let us release the need to overthink and replace it with trust. Trust that you have lived enough, learned enough, and endured enough to meet whatever comes. And trust that not every question needs an answer. Not every fear needs rehearsal. And not every tomorrow needs to be solved today. For when you let go of overthinking, peace enters like a calm river, steady and soothing, flowing where it will, carrying you gently along. And while overthinking can drain us, so too can negative people, those whose presence dims your light, whose words cut instead of comfort, whose energy leaves you weary instead of refreshed. And at this age, my dear friend, you must ask yourself, why carry relationships that wound you? Why sit in rooms that rob your joy? Why allow voices that only sow negativity? Letting go of negative people is not cruelty. It is self-preservation. It is choosing your circle with wisdom and surrounding yourself with those who uplift, encourage, and bring laughter to your days. For joy is contagious just as bitterness is, so choose wisely and give yourself permission to release what drains you. And once you have released the negativity of others, you must also release the expectations you place upon yourself and upon life. The unrealistic belief that everything should have turned out differently, that your health should be perfect, that your children should have followed a certain path, that your body should still do what it did at 30, because expectations, when too rigid, only create disappointment. But when you let them soften, you begin to see life as it is, not as you wish it had been. And in that acceptance, a quiet contentment grows, like sitting at a table not set with everything, You imagined but realizing that what is there is enough, more than enough to nourish and satisfy. And as you release expectations, you may notice that the rush of life, that old habit of hurrying, still lingers. The constant sense that you must move faster, get more done, fill every moment with action. But my friend, at 70 or 80, the rush is not your friend, it is your thief, stealing from you the sweetness of the slow, the beauty of the ordinary, the grace of a single breath. So let us let go of rushing and instead slow down. Savor the warmth of a meal, the softness of a breeze, the rhythm of birdsong, and in doing so, you will discover that slowness is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is life being tasted instead of swallowed. And finally, let us let go of self-doubt, that whisper that still says you are not enough. Not wise enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough, because after all these years, after all you have endured and overcome, do you not see that you are already enough? That your worth has never been measured by what you produced or achieved, but by the simple truth of your being, your love, your presence, your soul? Release self-doubt, stand tall. Even if your back bends, stand proud. Even if your voice trembles, because you, my dear friend, are enough. More than enough, and the world is blessed simply because you are here. So here we are, having walked through regret, comparison, clutter, grudges, fear of aging, overthinking, negative people, expectations, rushing, and self-doubt. 10 weights you no longer need to carry, 10 burdens you can now set down. And as you do, can you feel it? The lightness in your chest, the space in your mind, the peace in your spirit? Because happiness at 70 or 80 is not about grasping tightly. It is about loosening, not about adding more, but about releasing what no longer serves. And when you let go, joy comes rushing back in. Laughter rings louder, peace lingers longer, and life, in its simple beauty, begins to shine once again. So, my dear listener, carry this with you, not the weight of what is gone, but the freedom of what remains. For you have carried enough in this lifetime. And now, you deserve to live light, to live free, to live happy. And may every day ahead be brighter because you chose at last to let go.